Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Planet Marzipan, the Fish and Marillion podcast. I'm Meza, and here's my mate.
Craig Houston.
Hello, and welcome to Planet Marzipan. I'm Meza. I'm here with my good friend.
Christmas fair.
Oh, Christmas Fair. What's that mistletoe doing down there?
Slipped.
I'm not kissing you there. We've got some. I'll move on quickly. We've got some guests. We've got some guests. Now the level's down there. We welcome back Andrew Barnsley-Wood to the podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Barnes. We welcome back Sir James of Levy.
Good evening.
Chevy to the Levy. We welcome back Darren Moore.
Evening, gents.
Hi, Darren. And we welcome back Neil McChrystal.
Evening all.
Hi, Neil. As you can see from the title of the episode, we've gone a little bit Christmassy. We're going to review the Union Chapel gig from December 2002, if we can remember it. There is a DVD, which helps.
It's got a bloody awful cover as well.
Well, yeah, and it's also on the Space as well, isn't it? This gig.
Yeah, and there was a CD version of it came out as well back in the day, was it? Or was it just been on
No,
streaming?
there's a download of
There's
it
a download,
available
yeah.
on Racket and I presume Bandcamp. It's certainly on Racket. I looked on there today.
I couldn't remember whether there was a CD version.
No, there's no CD of this.
There was a couple of tracks on a Christmas CD, I think.
Yeah. We'll get onto that when we do the track listing, won't we? But 2002 then, so Marillion just coming off the sort of the bulk of the Anorak tour. Chip in, guys, if any of this is wrong or you've got anything to add to this. And they threw a few dates in at the end of the year, didn't they?
Yeah, because this was after the first weekend, because we had the first Marillion weekend in 2002.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say it was get some breathing space for them out of the studio because they were writing marbles at the time.
All right, okay. Yeah, another band breakup avoided there then by getting them out on the road. So they went out and did
7 dates.
Seven? Is it seven? I've got 6. Is that?
Manchester, Paris, Cologne, Netherlands,
Oh, beg your
Utrecht
pardon.
and Tilburg.
I need
and
to
then
scroll down. Yes.
and then,
7. Yeah.
Oxford and
Have
London.
you started on the eggnog early?
I have. Yeah. It's you and your bloody mistletoe. Yeah.
Just ask where the tinsel is now.
Well, on Marillion.com, 3 of those are listed as web fan club gigs. Was Manchester a web fan club gig?
Was it the Academy?
Yeah,
I went to that
29th of
gig,
November.
yeah.
I know, we saw you there.
Yeah.
November
Yeah.
29th, 2002.
I don't remember it being a fan club.
It
gig.
wasn't
I
a
don't
fan
remember
club
it being
gig,
a fan
no.
club gig. The Zodiac on the 6th of December could well have been.
I'm not. I think I was at the Zodiac gig. I was talking to Suzanne earlier, trying to work out if we were there, and neither of us could really remember.
Right.
I was at the Zodiac gig.
Yeah, there's more chance of that one
I
being
think
the fan club one.
we did Manchester and
We did Manchester and
Union
London.
Chapel, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
same as me. Yeah.
And that was when they could actually play electric gigs back in the Union Chapel, because in
I was
those
saying that
days,
I was going to say, just
Oh,
going
you
to
say
leave it there,
that's when the
wasn't
band
it?
could actually play.
Yeah, this is the last Planet Marzipan, as you can tell. You're not allowed to do electric there now.
they stopped it for a while because there was new
There's
neighbours.
stuff advertised
Yeah.
now.
No, there was the Anchoress played there the other week, last
Yes,
week.
she did.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
were restricted for a good few years after that, because there's somebody who'd moved into the area who was very, very litigious, and he'd stopped them for the noise pollution.
Right.
And they were restricted for a good number of years to like acoustic and a lot
Yeah.
quieter gigs. That's why Union Chapel used to be, it was a big popular venue in the early
Mm.
noughties. Then it seemed to drop off a bit, and now it's coming back again. So I wonder if he's either been smothered in his sleep or
I don't know. I mean, there's
whether.
certainly a full listing for this month. I mean, Bellex One are there on the 19th of
Yeah,
December.
they only ever play London now, which is unfortunate
Okay.
when they're not in Ireland.
But it's a great venue, isn't it?
Oh, it's cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from the seats are a bit hard.
Yeah, but I
Well,
mean,
the screen,
it
the
it
pews.
felt a bit naughty because it's got a bar in it, hasn't it? It's a church
Yes.
with a bar downstairs,
Yeah.
is
It's
it?
in the
Am I right?
in the vestry off to the
Yeah,
left hand
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Left
Yeah.
hand side, yeah.
Yeah.
I think also, if I'm not mistaken, you can't take your beer from the bar to the venue, so you've got to drink it from the
You
bar.
would have
No,
tried
Yeah,
that, wouldn't
that's
you?
right.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm
Tried
pretty
Did you?
sure I had a
Oh,
pint.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had a pint in the pew.
I did. Yeah.
I'm
Oh, did
pretty
you?
certain.
I remember
Yeah.
somebody coming running in telling me the band were on stage, and I'm like, I'm still finishing my beer. Don't often get to drink beer in a church, so I'm making the most of it.
I
Cans
remember,
of red,
yeah,
cans of red stripe.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
I remember
Most
when
holy
queuing.
beers.
Yeah, when I was queuing outside, I was Dobby's alcohol mule because he had me loaded up with all different cans and bottles and things and stuff like that. 'Cause I was the least likely person
Yeah, there's
to
a
get
couple of off
searched.
licenses very near, isn't there? Yeah.
Mm.
So I was sloshing around on the way in.
Yeah. There's a picture of us like outside with Lucy in there.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, yeah.
Trying to remember, is it kind of a? It's not a hexagon, is it? Is it a hexagon, or it's a? It's definitely got sides. It
I
might be
seem to
a.
remember the seating.
Is it
There's
six-sided?
there's a block facing square on, and then off to the left and the right, you're at an angle, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're facing the stage at
And
an
then the
angle.
back straight on. It might be six-sided. It's
Right.
definitely an odd shape. Yeah,
Yeah.
And
but
isn't it, if you
but
go,
it makes a great view from anywhere.
yeah. Is there an upstairs? I seem to remember
Yeah,
sort of
there
the
is.
further
There's
back
a-
you are, you sort of overlook. You've got the upstairs being overlooked.
Yeah,
Because I
there
was
was
on
a
the left
there's a balcony.
towards the back.
I once saw Peter Green in there. I was on the balcony, and it's possibly the worst gig I've ever been. Absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
The Peter Green,
The
though.
Peter Green. It was
Christ.
his first, I think, if I'm not mistaken, his first gig back when they decided to get him to come back.
Right.
To be fair, everybody else carried him, and it was just quite tragic, really. And they didn't play Albatross. I only went to watch him play Albatross.
I've seen Peter Green many
Absolute waste
times.
of time.
And most of the time he's really good, but you do get the occasional gig that he really does not want to play or didn't want to play.
It was, yeah, tragic.
The sound
Does
in
it-
it is generally really, really good because I know,
Yeah, yeah.
because I saw David Ford there, saw H Band there, saw Marillion there, and the one gig I was really looking forward to there was Beck Runger from New Zealand, singer-songwriter, and the sound was absolutely awful. And it would have fit her sound perfectly, but whoever was doing her sound that night was just wanted shot. It was absolutely terrible.
Okay.
But they were good.
Craig, do you remember who the support was that night?
Yes, it was the legends that are Cry No More.
Cry no
It
more.
was,
Bring 'em
it
back.
was,
Yeah.
So I'm quite surprised the place didn't actually burn into flames with their usual shtick.
We've talked about Cry No More on here before, haven't we? But
Yeah.
I mean, you either love them or hate them, don't you? I think they're brilliant. I think they're great. Great
you
fun.
can tell our level,
Randomly.
can't you?
Randomly, Roy Hill now lives in Cheltenham.
Does he?
Mm. Yeah,
Does he
Yeah,
still
he-
play? Do you know?
he does. But what he's doing, this is very bizarre. What he's doing at the minute is he kind of does crooner, singer, songwriter like Frank Sinatra style swing, and he goes round. Now I don't know whether they just managed to get him there, but he goes round old people's homes. All right. So basically, what happened was my other half's mother, Lizzie, lives in Cheltenham now, and she lives in one of these retirement holes. And she came round one day and she said, "Oh, we had this guy around the other night, and he said he used to work with Marillion." And I'm like, "What?" So I went, "His name wasn't Roy, was it?" When she started describing him, she said, "Yeah, that's him, Roy Hill." I went, "You're kidding me." She went, "No, we had a right long chat." 'Cause he talked about supporting him on, was it holidays or seasons end?
It was the 10th anniversary gig.
The 10th
Wembley,
anniversary.
It was, yeah, Wembley, yeah.
And then he mentioned the Pontins tour, and he mentioned that he'd rejoined them in early 2000s. But yeah, now he lives in Cheltenham apparently, and
Very
that's what he
good.
does. So,
Did she learn some new swear words?
yeah.
Can I say, yeah, a bit of
Yeah.
blue for the oldies.
I like
I
the
think,
dog. It's very funny.
yeah. Trouble is, we got so many women of a certain age laughing too hard, it could be could be disaster.
Just taking it down another level there, Craig. Well done. Yeah, well done. You're on
Oh,
form tonight, fella.
we haven't got quite to the level yet.
No,
We'll
I
get
didn't
there.
have incontinence on my bingo card.
You can tell Faye's back.
Yes, yeah, Christmas fair at that, yeah. Um,
Phil,
do we talk about the gig, or does anybody sort of remember meeting up beforehand?
before you ask, I was 30.
I wasn't
What
going
were
to.
you then, Craig, when this took place?
Yeah.
And what is your favourite version of this strange engine, Craig? Yes, yeah.
Well, since we've been corrected that we missed out something important on our How We Live podcast episode. Come on, board, let's get our full shame into
Well,
the
for anyone who's
spotlight.
interested, completely we're off subject, but it is Christmas, so
Pull the cracker.
in a form. I can't believe that every one of your guests missed the incredible fact that the song Games in Germany is segued into the middle of the best ever version of This Strange Engine. And for those who are not on the quiz team, you'll find that on Front Row Club number 1. Darren's looking confused.
Which gig is it? Which gig is it, Bam?
It's from it's a German place called, beginning with an L, and it's not Leipzig. So, but it's number 1 on the Front Row Club.
Okay. Well,
So anybody- yeah.
you just berated Lucy as well in that
Yeah.
comment there.
Yeah.
So Lucy, remember that when
It
Bam.
comes in at 16 minutes and 30 seconds, and it's the whole song is 22 minutes long. It's definitely the best version of The Strange Engine.
So if anybody wants to replace us on the podcast, you're more than welcome. Just email planetmousepadpodcast@gmail.com and just put the header
It's
bunch of
from
losers.
Ludwigshall in Dieburg, or
Okay.
Dieburg, however you pronounce it, on the
So-
radiation tour.
There we are. We stand corrected by the font of knowledge that is Andrew Barnsley Wood. If you're in Port Zealand, he's the one who carries the pictures round in the quiz, so he's part of it as well. Let's go back to the gig in hand. So it came out as a DVD entitled Christmas in the Chapel, which is partly why we've selected it today. And I think presumably the boys have watched it again recently.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, everyone's nodding. That's good. The first thing to say about the DVD and the film, because the film is on the space, is it is a Boom Boom Boys production, and that when you see it, you've got their trademark, so to speak. It's kind of and also because of its age, it's not exactly high def, is it? It's all sort of a bit sort of
And with the-
vastly
yeah.
smeared on the
Yeah.
on the
Got him a
lens and
soft
stuff.
focus.
That's the phrase I'm looking
That's
for,
the
James.
word.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also the light saturations a bit.
Well, it gets
Yeah.
better. I
Yeah.
mean, they've clearly not the lighting. It's very very blue to start with, isn't it? Which doesn't help any cameras at all.
And
But
it's
it
very
gets better
dark
as
in
it
the
goes
church.
along. So it goes from that saturation to some really nice things during. Was it Quartz? Was it? There's a couple of tracks later on where
Quartz,
the
yeah.
light is really quite spectacular, and it captures that quite well.
I would
So
go as far as saying,
Trent-
John, unless you disagree, if you watch the DVD, it bears next to no resemblance whatsoever to the gig we were at.
Yeah,
It looks
no, I
like-
agree
It
with
looks
you.
like
Yeah.
it's filmed either in a pub or
It's
in
quite
a
claustrophobic,
sort
isn't
of
it? Yeah.
graveyard.
Yeah, there's a lot of close shots, and it's
Yeah.
quite choppy into
But
the
also it's
Boom Boom
very-
Boy style.
It's very darkly lit with just, and there's a technical reason for that if we really want to go into it. But the reality is, it looks like it's in a real dark, sort of moody, sort of basement gig. And actually, on the day, it was reasonably well lit in there, wasn't it? It was quite.
It was, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is that focal point of the pulpit with
Yeah.
the candles around, which is right behind Mark, but the stage looks really small on the DVD. I don't remember it being like that, but
One thing I remember though, John, rewatching it, it reminds us of one of your stories. Remember when we saw Dave Gilmore for the first time at the Royal Albert Hall, and you'd nip to the toilet, and there was two of the guys there who were filming it,
Yes.
and they said, "God knows how it's going to turn out because of the way the lighting and stuff." And that was
Yeah.
just that
Yeah.
that flashed back.
Well,
It
I mean,
reminds me a little bit of the beginning of Marvels on the Road with that blue wash, because
Yeah.
that's also well, whether that's the band's choice at the time, but that was a lot of blue to start with for the
Well,
first opening numbers.
in my role as working in the business and all that, I can tell you exactly what the problem is. It's partly born out of the technology in that at that era was it was filming video, whereas today we film in data. And when Tim films and he's doing his stuff, he films in log mathematics, he films in log space, which gives you up to 14 stops in photography world. Whereas in the old days, you filmed in video space, which means you lose the detail in the blacks and the whites. So it's a completely different system as time has marched on. There's clearly Tim and his lot are much more professional anyway, but also the camera gear and the camera technology has marched forwards, and the budgets are different.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
get the impression that Jens and Tim, when there's a filming coming up, Jens and Tim kind of work together,
They
don't
work
they?
together, yeah, but is when they first started doing it, the Boomer Boys, they sort of used to ask Lucy to brighten the lights up just so they could get something in there. Whereas them days are long gone now. You can capture so much stuff on modern cameras and
Yeah.
modern that you don't really have to get bogged down with that.
I mean, this isn't a criticism of the Boom Boom Boys because we got lots of early videos from them, so we wouldn't
Yeah.
have had that without them. They did some great work.
Yeah.
They started using more GoPros on this one as well, didn't they? Because there was one on the drums, there's one on the keys, or two
Yeah,
on the keys. So I think that for me makes it a little bit more claustrophobic because the way the lenses were, it looks like they almost stood on top of each other.
it's quite frightening at that point where Eric comes on between the main set and the encore to reset Mark's keys, and he's right in his face is the camera.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
interesting hearing all the technical stuff, but the one thing that came to my mind when I was watching it back was, this is back when gigs used to be dark, right? Because I don't know about anybody else, but I've noticed in the last probably like 5, 10 years, gigs, it's the modern lights. They are so bright.
Yeah,
And I remember
Yeah.
gigs back then is, yeah, sure, the stage was illuminated and you had the lights there, but you were sat in the dark.
Yeah.
Now that's not the case. I thought there was a big chunk of that as well, is it just showed
yeah, that's probably right.
how
Yeah, yeah.
the
There's that,
lighting
and some of
that shows
the
has changed.
LED screens that they use now for
That's
staging
also,
are
yeah,
so bright. They
Yep.
light up the whole arenas, don't they?
yeah.
It's
There's a-
funny because one of the darkest gigs I ever saw was Hope Sandoval playing, and she had the state. There was such minimal lighting on the stage, and because it's like Mazzy Star, so it's all like quite laid back and dreamy kind of stuff. So Dobby had to kind of make sure I was awake for half of it because it was like he just get to a point of like, oh, this is so relaxing and so soothing and so lovely. It's like,
But it's quite an energetic set
oh,
list, isn't
yeah,
it?
this
Yeah.
is such a
Yeah.
punchy gig.
I mean, it's a great opener.
If I may, John, I was just going to say
Yeah.
another couple of things about the video. We're sort of doing this all back to front, but it doesn't seem to matter.
It's all right.
Firstly, it was amazing how many people got flash cameras. You notice that at the start? Nowadays, they've got telephones. But then it was like it's like flash, 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 flash. Looked like there's a thunderstorm taking place in there. The other, the other thing I noted was obviously it's the sort of tech that was used back in the day, but everything's through a vision mixer, and there's bits where they're mixing three lots of H together on different bits. But top of the pop special.
Yeah.
There was hardly any cuts. It's just one thing mixed into another, to another, to another, to another. And then if the camera suddenly veered to the left, they just left that in rather than editing it out the whole lot.
It's character. That's what we based this podcast on, Barnes. A similar sort of ethos. Leave it in.
Slightly shit.
Just leave it in.
It's not quite as Adobe Premiere style as Shot in the Dark was it? With the
No.
five images spinning around the screen.
But also, have you
Yeah.
seen the typefaces at the start of it? And it's like, what is that type?
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing about it.
yeah.
It's absolutely shocking. You know what I mean?
But one thing I did like from the video on the GoPros and stuff, you could see Mark triggering all the samples at different points of the song, so you actually get to see what he's triggering at the start and at different points. And I thought, you don't really get to see that, or maybe I've missed it in recent ones. That was quite interesting.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of close-ups on Mark as well
Mm.
on his hands as well, which you don't normally see much of, do you? It's a brilliant opening though, isn't it?
Oh, it was. Yeah,
Emmanuel into Season's End.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's really atmospheric and a great
yeah,
version of Season's End as well.
yeah, it
Um,
is.
Very different from the rest of the set, I found. Because after that, you kind of fall back into Between You and Me and Quartz and the stuff that they had been playing in 2002.
It's not it's a very, very upbeat gig for that kind of venue. You know, this is it's not exactly down and dirty. But it's got a lot of energy all the way through. And you'd think in a church gig you do more like the epics and a bit more like ethereally kind of stuff.
Well,
But
doesn't
this is
Edge make some comment about folks being sat like
Uh,
budgerigars
Budgies, yeah,
Yes.
in the pews? And
yeah.
then a
Get
song or
everybody to
two
stand
later,
up.
everybody stood up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they did stack all the new stuff quite early on,
yeah.
between You and Me and Quartz, and then a couple more tracks then 21st Century. And then after that,
Then
that's
it's
it off
the big
Anorak.
hitters
Yeah,
then, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Any particular favorite? I mean, the first half of set list is Seasons End, Between You and Me, Quartz, Beautiful, Map of the World, 21st Century, Man of a Thousand Faces, and Uninvited Guest. Any particular favorites from those on this gig?
I really like 21st Century because I
Yeah.
Mm.
think it really works live. It really works live. I know it's long and it's it's all drum machiney and everything like that to begin with, but I think it's absolutely cork alive. And I do miss it 'cause it seems to have been a long, long time that it's been like part of a set. Apart from like playing it when they've like played like Anorak in full kind of thing. But other than that, it doesn't seem to have had an airing for a while.
Not true.
Yeah,
I
I
really
So,
like it live when Ian comes in because there's more attack
Yeah,
on it live.
yeah.
It
yeah,
really brings up that energy, and it was a good version. It was a really good version.
Yeah, Pete was on fire on that as well. But
Yeah.
the thing I noticed I'd never noticed before when I was watching it back the other night is at the end the kind of bubble effects. It's like something of a screamadelica, and I don't know that I've ever heard that at the end of in the 21st century before. But it's almost like kind of bubble blowing going off.
But
Just
it's also yeah, but it's also strange that Between You and Me is so early on in the set because that tended to be something that if it wasn't early on in the Anorak tour, but when it came to the rest of the tours, it was always used as a bit of an
Well,
encore or a
it's a
thing.
strange set list anyway because it ends with Cover My Eyes. I mean, I don't recall.
That's a rare one to
That's a
finish with.
rare one to finish with. Yeah, definitely.
do you
I
know
thought it
what's
was
the weirdest
sorry.
thing about this set list? And I was just double checking to make sure it is like that because I was looking at so on in Manchester it was slightly different, same songs apart from TSC, but the beginning was in a different order.
Yeah,
So they put the Brave stuff earlier on in
yeah.
Manchester, but doing the Great Escape and then going back to Mad, I was like, and then doing that section is like, hang on a minute, what's going on there?
I mean, you're right. The Manchester set list is a more logical way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a more what we're used to. Um,
But yeah, I was just looking at that going, hang on, like, how do you go from this town trilogy into Great Escape and then back to Wave Mad, that section again?
but Union Chapel does look to be the longest set list of all these 7 shows.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good version of Quartz as
Yeah,
well. It
yeah,
was a yeah. So they've really grown into it over that 2001, 2002, and I thought it was really Pete was on fire for that one.
yeah, yeah. It's strange going back and looking at. I mean, I don't really watch videos from 2002, 2003 very often of the band, and it's strange to go jump back and remember what they were like in those days.
Yeah.
They look
And
a heck of a sight younger and
Oh, we would
more,
as
no, and
well.
yeah, but with this tour, they were so energetic though.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
was
yeah,
real attack on everything, and I think it was this. I mean, we've already said it before when we've been talking about the conventions and the weekends and talked about anarachnophobia. There was such a change in atmosphere and a change in how the band felt and how they were putting themselves forward. It was so optimistic. They'd come through the castle years of it being a little bit, don't know where they're going and don't know how well they're going to survive with everything. and it was just they came back refreshed.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I remember at the time I watched this DVD over and over and over again, and I think one of the reasons being is at that point we didn't actually have any gig DVDs. We had Shot in the Dark had come out on DVD, but that was more of a documentary style. And then before this came out, we got the Brave from Pontins, and then we got Before First Light. But again, they were like single albums. We had Brave and we had Afraid of Sunlight. We didn't actually have a gig since
Oh no, sorry.
Stoke Row. There
Yes,
wasn't
Stoke Row,
actually,
yeah.
and that was on video and Loreley.
Yeah.
It was only later they came out. So I remember watching it over because it was actually like a proper gig on DVD. And it's the first one we had like that.
One thing it struck me watching the DVD is actually talking about the band being energetic, is how much fun they seem to be having as well.
Definitely.
Not saying they haven't now, but it just came across really well on the.
No, but I think the
recording.
technology's got more complicated now. You know, the amount of things they have to trigger, and you know, we've talked about it when we talked about Rothery playing with the SRB against playing with Marillion. He smiles and he's a lot more relaxed for the SRB because he's got less things that he needs to be aware of, and he can just play and relax. But with Marillion, he's aware of the click that he has got and everything else that's going on, and in 2002, I don't think he had all that to worry about.
But I think this set list has got a lot more straightforward songs, and apart from things like TSE and that, where it's a bit more complicated. But by this time, they had TSE down pat. It was one of the fans' favorites, and they played it a lot. So, you look, there's a lot of what are standards at the time and still standards now in it.
What's your favorite version of TSE, Craig?
Oh, what's my favourite version of TSE? I can't say because if I don't
second
say the
favourite,
version
go
that's
the
got the version that's got games in Germany, Barnes will kill us.
Yeah, that's the first. But what's your second favourite, though, Craig? Because that's
There was one of them. There was one of the ones that they played at the convention.
That's the one.
I don't know if it was 2007 or something. It was a really good one back in the day when they did all the TSE. There you
2003 on Popular Music. That's a cracker.
Yeah, that's one.
Is that where Sting he does a bit of Russians by Sting? I think he drops that in the middle of that one.
Which is the one that has the immigration speech in it?
That might be Popular Music as well.
There's a quiz around here.
Yeah.
Never mind that. I think it's a poll. I think we need a poll in the group. What is the best version of this Strange Engine?
Yeah, put it out there.
We'll get that poll.
The last one they played.
Yeah. The next one is the best one.
Yeah. Probably like one of those demo ones. You've got dozens of versions that none of the rest of us have heard.
That's a good point. I think what was quite interesting about this too, and probably keeps the band's energy up, it was really short. It was like 7 gigs over 9 days. So, they started in Manchester 29th of November, finished in London on 7th of December, and took France, Germany, and Holland in between. For them, that's like, really compact.
Yeah.
Probably kept it fresh because it was all happening so quick. I think there was only 2 days off in all that period. So I guess it's quite an exciting little jaunt around Europe just before Christmas.
And I think as well, as I was saying, they come out of the studio and they've been in the studio pretty solid for the last couple of months. So I think it was like, oh my God, stretch our legs, let's play.
Yeah. I mean, H makes some quick, he's like for putting his foot in it. He's trying to thank the crew, and he apologizes to the members of the crew who he's not managed to sleep with over the last 7 days.
Yes. My favorite comedy bit is just before Map of the World, where I think Pete's playing a bit of bass and H starts riffing Park Life.
Yes.
And then says, "That was part. That's not music. It's art. And this is neither. This is Map of the World." It still tickles me that.
There's a bit I caught in the video. If you watch between just after Season's End finished, and may have not been the same, but it comes across as me. Ian does a bit of Bob Fleming because he coughs and went, "That's better."
I missed that bit.
And there's the how's he coping with the smoking ban?
There is, yeah.
Getting better now.
The second half of the set list is This Town, 100 Nights, Great Escape, and then encore of Mad, Afraid of Sunlight, and encore of Gabriel's Message, TSC, and second encore of Easter and Cover My Eyes. The version of Gabriel's Message is on the Christmas album, isn't it? That version.
Yeah.
It's
Tis
just
that one.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
How often does it play? Do they sing that? Because it's very rare, isn't it?
Not a lot. I mean,
No.
is that
I don't have they played it since?
I don't. Or before. I mean, I don't think they play it very often anyway.
No.
But it's one of the highlights of the night, as I seem to remember. It was like literally, it was that straight after the encore, was it? They came back on with it. Is that right?
it was first encore. I mean, it's quite interesting because H struggles to hit the notes at the end of AOS, which is the last song on the main set.
Yeah.
He's clearly struggling, but then he comes out and absolutely knocks Gabriel's Message out of the park.
Yeah.
According to Setlist FM, which you can take with a pinch of salt because not everything's on there, but he's only ever done it 5 times. Once in 1999 and 4 times in 2002.
Right.
Probably all on that tour, those ones, I guess.
Yeah, those 2002 ones, yeah.
Yeah, well, that part of the tour.
It's interesting
Yeah,
that
he played it.
mention
Sorry, go
the
on.
end of AOS because you're right, he does struggle. But I was thinking that when he does actually pick it back up, he does a perfect Jeff Buckley. And it just sounds like he's absolutely channeling Jeff Buckley at the end of there. And it might have been because he was struggling, it might have been because he didn't make no, I don't know, but it sounded like he pulled it back together and went, right, I need to just do this a different way.
Yeah, he does. He does a sort of a 180, doesn't he? And sort of styles it out, so to speak.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But I thought it came across really nicely, actually.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's always a moment where that like the space is a bit of a moment where you kind of clench everything, don't you? When he's on the run up to it.
And just like, put it earlier in the set and make your life easier.
Yeah,
earlier in the set.
I thought the version of This Town was really good. It's it's a bit more edgy and a bit, a bit rockier.
Yeah.
And some great sort of noises from Rothers at the beginning of it.
Yeah, it's
Before
also
the
got
song.
the drum solo in the Rake's Progress, which Ian does now and again. He used to do a lot in the holidays and This Strange Engine tour, but they
stretching it
dropped
out.
Yeah, and it's a really good version. He really brings in the toms and the snares on that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I dug out the ticket today. I've got it on my set.
How much was it, Barnes?
Well, I was going to also quiz you actually to see what you thought. But I've got the ticket out, and it was the 2002 Virgin Venue of the Year. It says on the front of the ticket, and the ticket price was £16, 16.
Oh, I was going to go with 18. Okay.
Is that new pounds or is that old pounds and shillings?
16 quid.
But the thing is, though, Barnes,
£2 now.
Yeah, that day was particularly special for you, though, wasn't it?
It was, man. Yes.
I guess you're looking at. Do you want me to reveal the story now, or have you got time in your slot?
We've got plenty of time. We're going to take
plenty of
a
time.
quick intermission for Barnes to give us his story.
All right. Do you want it condensed, or do you want
Nope.
No.
Blow by blow.
Extended.
It's a three-part of this. Three-part episode.
You know the story, don't you, Daz? You must.
I do indeed, mate. I do.
So basically, it's if you want the full story, it started.
No, we don't want the beginning of the story, but we don't need to know that.
Well, actually,
Blow by blow.
It's a stalk.
Yeah. No, well, I'll tell you exactly what it was. And certain I'm sure you know this, but my lady wife Nikki, or girlfriend as she was at the time, she you probably know she's got quite a long medical history. So at a very young age, she was told that there's no way we could have children. Very, very young age. So we embarked in 2002 on a IVF thing, which for someone who's 25 was incredibly early. And all this was taking place when we were at Breen Sands. The first one didn't work. And then the second one, she fell pregnant. So so the year started. This was around about May time, and then very quickly, Nicky's health sort of went up and down. So it was a bit, well, let's say stressful is an understatement, but we spent a lot of time in hospital. I think she was in hospital out of the pregnancy of the full 8 months that we went through. She was in hospital 3 of those months. And also, a point I didn't pass on, the hospital is Queen Charlotte's in sort of the back end of Hammersmith. But for some reason, they put her in a private room. I don't know quite why. Because she was there so often. Probably because she was a nurse. She probably got sort of mates
Special
rate,
treatment.
yeah, all sorts of
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
But looking looking out the window, all she could see was the back of Wormwood Scrubs prison. So, so we spent the whole summer going in and out of hospital, and it was, to say it was stressful was an understatement. And there were times when they were worried about her health and the new baby's health. It was a bloody nightmare to say the least. Anyway, coincidentally, at the same time, one of my best friends, is still one of my best friends, lived on Compton Terrace, which is the exact same street where Union Chapel is. And we were saying, wouldn't it be hilarious if Marillion played at the Union Chapel? Lo and behold, tickets were announced. They were going to play at the Union Chapel. So as the pregnancy moved forward and everything kept going, I thought, sod it, I'm going to buy 10 tickets and get nine of my closest mates. We're all going out on what was going to be my last ever night out before the birth of my young son. And then I'd be off the market for 20 odd years while I was being a father and never go out drinking again. That was the plan.
How did that
Yeah.
work? No, no, don't listen.
Well, yeah, I stuck to it quite well. Anyway, so that was that. Anyway, so cut a long story short, very long story short, she got to 30 weeks and they said, right, now's the time. Then it dragged on a bit further and go, no, we'll go another week. And it went on and on and on till the point it was converging with the this sort of big night out. So I thought, right, the official date we were given was the week after. So I thought, great, last ever night out. We'll organise a pub crawl the whole way up Islington High Street, Upper Street, and we'd call it Barillion, the Barillion pub crawl. Remember that, Daz?
I do, yeah, yeah. And
So I organised this Barillion pub crawl to people I'd never met before, just saying, look, we're going out all day, we're having a big one, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, returned from work Friday night. Nikki, my wife, rang. She goes, just so you know, my waters are broken. Uh, it's tomorrow, like that, which clashed with the same day, the Barillion pub crawl, etc., etc. So obviously got up the next day and sort of just got our shit together and everything. Went down the hospital for this big event. Little mini story was the surgeon says, bring whatever albums you want. You can put whatever your music on you want. And I forgot. But luckily, the album he liked playing was the best hits of Phil Collins. So the whole way through this cesarean section, which only took about 20 minutes to be fair, we were listening to Phil Collins. And anyway, all went well. The baby was born, incredibly small, like that, on the day of thing. And I thought, well, that's it. You know, I wonder how the guys are getting on, and it would have been great to go to the show, but this is obviously the biggest thing ever. Anyway, so an hour passed, and then Nicky's mum was sort of fussing around Nicky like you'd expect parents to do. And they said, are you not going to the gig? And I thought, oh. I
Only need asking
didn't
once.
actually think
Yeah,
it was an
yeah.
option. Anyway, so cut forward 10 minutes later, I'm in, well, it wouldn't be an Uber, probably a black cab, I would have thought at that time, blasting across London. And also, a little mini part to the story was I was sort of quite proud I'd managed to hold it all together and not burst into tears. Everyone says, oh, when you have your first child, you'll not be able to stop crying. Well, so that was, I thought, oh, managed to hold it all together. Anyway, rolled into Islington where my mates had been on the beer all day. Walked into one of the pubs and I was accosted by a bottle of champagne and a pint of Guinness. At which point I burst into tears and cried solidly from about 4 in the afternoon till midnight. Couldn't stop crying. So the gig itself was like a weird sort of thing where everyone's patting me on the back and sort of generally doing what people do when they're celebrating, I guess, and sort of buying me drinks and things. And I was sort of spent a bit of time. That's partly the reason I can remember I was in the bar at the Union Chapel and I wasn't allowed to take my drink in. And I've got like 3 glasses of beer that people had bought me and things like that. So that was that, and that was that day.
It's a
And
momentous day for you,
a
wasn't it?
momentous day, yeah. So George, who's now 22, 23 next week, or as this show goes out, will be 23. That was that. That was the day he was born, or the day he was born, the same day as the Marillion.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll say
yeah.
happy birthday to him now, even though his
Yeah.
Well, there
birthday
you
will
go.
have
There you
passed when it is. So hope he has a good one.
Well, the first of many Marillion gigs that you've cried at, though, mate, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I think I've cried everyone's sins, I think, to be honest with you.
Mind you, Barnes, John's got a quite a similar
Similar
story
story,
about
yeah, yeah.
just before Nat was born because it was on the was it the Anorak tour, the
Yeah,
Christmassy time in
yeah, it's
2001.
yeah. I mean, I had a weekend of three gigs. I had a gig at Fibbers in town. I had a gig at York Opera House. So I had Martin Joseph at Fibbers in town. I had Paul Carrack at the Opera House, and then I had Marillion at Manchester Academy. And I went to the Martin Joseph gig and the Saturday gig. Leslie's contraction started, so we went into hospital and we were there for about 12 hours and nothing was happening. So they sent us home. She was in labour, but they sent us home. She's laid on the settee, sounds similar to you, mate. I'm pacing up and down, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Nothing, nothing." This was on the day of the Marillion gig.
Yeah.
About 6:45, she said, "Why don't you just go to the gig? I live in York, and the gig's in Manchester." So I took my son and I got from York into the gig in Manchester, and I was stood in the gig
Next to me.
next to him an hour and 5 minutes later.
Excellent.
I don't think
Proper bad.
I don't think we
Proper
stuck to
bad.
any speed limits there.
And when he turned up, I mean, I just pissed myself laughing. It just sent me into an absolute fit of giggles that he just deserted poor Leslie in the house.
She said, "Mate, it's like Barnes.
Yeah.
You get
Only have
asked
to ask
once,
once.
you see your
Exactly.
opportunity,
You only
and you
have to ask
take
once.
it. You
Yeah.
take it, yeah." Wow. But yes, a momentous day for you, mate. It really was. And did you meet some of the usual suspects for the first time then?
Yeah, very much so. Because really, I went to the 2002 thing at Breen Sands. I went with Nicky, and I didn't really get talking to anybody. Really, I didn't really show my face that much, so I didn't know that many people. And people we did know were more online. I don't say online friends, but online people from the mall
Yeah.
for with stupid sort of hashtags that you can't remember which person
What?
is with you, can't remember their real name and all that.
Darren had about 4 logons for them all, didn't he? So
Yeah, so I
Depends
remember
whether I got
bumping
all
into a few.
banned by
different
Eric.
names.
I think did I bump into you, Daz? I think I might have bumped into
You
you.
did, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was
It was a funny one, wasn't it? Because I was very similar to you. Although I've been going to gigs for years, a lot of them were just like in and out on my own. And I think it's one of the first because it was all pre-social media, wasn't it? So it was one of the first ones we've been on the Molf, and I'd done the Manchester gig, and then I'd seen your post on Molf as you Reds. So I thought, well, that sounds interesting. I'll see if I can find anybody. I think I met most people in the Hope and Anchor
yeah, that's what
opposite there.
later on.
But that's where only ever knew anybody by the Molf handle.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember anybody's real name.
Whereas I had arguments with you on the mall, for not realizing it was you.
Yeah, a lot of
When
that.
I was on
isn't
the mall,
Kennedy would message me and go, "You do know that's Darren, don't you?" All right, okay.
which
someone
name's
bumped
he
into
under
me. I
now?
think it was in Minehead, and they said, "Are you Reds?" I go, "Yeah." It comes, "Oh, we assumed you were Dutch."
It's just how he speaks.
I was the same actually. That was the first gig that I met a lot of people as well. I mean, I literally didn't go to Breedon Sands. I didn't go to 2002 because I didn't know any other Marillion fans. I didn't want to go on my own. But yeah, that was the first that you saw people that it was the mall for. I was in the Opium Den a lot.
Yeah.
And it was the online handles, and that was the first. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I remember meeting you, Darren Barnes. I
Yeah.
probably did bump into some crying man at some point. But I do remember meeting lots of people and going, wow, there's this whole community around this. And actually probably going into the venue, having had that experience, probably actually impacted the experience of the gig quite significantly, I think.
Same with me. I think I ended up sitting with people that I'd met in the pub rather than just sitting on my Todd. So obviously you then kind of you get a bit more of a communal atmosphere going on.
I
think
was
you had a
trying to
bright
see
red
because
shirt on, didn't you, Barnes? A bright red Hawaiian shirt, I seem to recall.
Could have been any gig.
probably yeah, and shorts down him. There aren't many crowd shots on the DVD, are there? There's the camera that's behind Mark's keys. The only person I can make out that I know is Judith Mitchell on the front row.
Yes, yeah, Judith's
I
there.
think
Yeah.
also it's so dark and contrasty. Everyone's faces are just washed out really, so you can't really work
Yeah.
out who they are anyway. You know.
I
I
mean,
was in a
there's people. Sorry, James. There's a back shot of people, and the way certain people are reacting, I could probably say, well, that's so and so, and that's so and so because of how they're reacting. But it's just a guess. Sorry, James.
mm.
I
I was
mean,
gonna
with
say
us, like, go for it.
I was in a complete other one because I was on a date.
Oh,
I was on a second date. That's why I didn't really meet it. That's why we were at the back because she didn't want to queue. We went for a meal beforehand, and it was the first Marillion gig she'd been to. I think it was the only Marillion gig she went
So
to.
did it make it the last date as well because of
No,
that?
no. We were together for a little while, but yeah, we left before the last encore. I think this strange engine did it for her, and so she turned around to me and went, "Can we go
Because
now,
this ain't the
please?"
best version of
That was
this
it, because it wasn't the
engine.
best version, was it?
Yeah, she went. There's something about they're not playing games in Germany. What's going on?
I sat here for 16 minutes and they're not started playing it yet.
But yeah, and I remember about the red stripe because I accidentally tipped half a can in a handbag.
and
But yeah, so I think I'd met Barnes. I'd met you before then, anyway, hadn't I, Barnes?
I would have thought so, yeah, possibly, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't really sort of. I don't think I met anybody else because I say we weren't queuing or going to the pubs beforehand.
Yeah.
So I think that was a little later. I think it was about 2004. I met most of you.
I mean, it was a bit different for me and John, though, wasn't it? Because me and John had met in '94, and we've been quite close friends since then.
yeah,
And
been to
obviously,
gigs and stuff. And so we were there with
and
Kennedy, weren't we?
yeah, with Kennedy
Kennedy
and
and Dave Dobby
Dobby and that as well. So I mean, the
and
Cakey
Mikey.
boys, yeah, because me and Mikey have been friends since we've been friends for nearly 40 years now. So we've had a group who've been together a fair bit. Plus, yeah.
I've got another
Was
bit of
this
trivia actually, when the time's right.
was
Sorry.
this the front pew or was that the H
No,
band?
that was the H. That was the H
All right,
thing, yeah.
okay. Sorry,
Which
Barnes, go on.
was
So I've got another bit of trivia. After the event, about 6 months later, there was an online charity auction set up by, I guess, the Web UK, I think. And the one of the things to be bought was the waistcoat worn by H on the Anorak tour, I guess. So I put some bids in for it, and I ended up winning the thing. So, so I thought, great, it's probably the same one he wore on the day that George was born. So I was going to do the old classic Hard Rock Cafe, put that there, the thing, and the ticket, and get it signed and all that sort of nonsense. But anyway, it turns out there was two, and the one I got it had white stitching on it. No, sorry, the one I had pink stitching on it, and the one on the show had white stitching on it. And I thought I'll try and dig it out, but I think I lost it about 10 years ago somewhere. So God knows where that. So Marco's Museum's going to miss out on that one, sadly. But I did at some point. I did have this thing, and I remember when it was delivered. Andy Rotherham delivered it to me, but he delivered it because he was still in the police at the time. Turned up in his police car and knocked on the door. Oh God, what have I done wrong this time?
Just for maximum effect, yeah.
He was only delivering the old waistcoat. But...
Are you sure it's different coloured stitching and not just the weird lighting going on?
Well, I thought that, but I mean, I get the impression it's a different colour stitching because it just
Right.
looks so white on the thing. I mean, it could be pink, but there was different enough that even the terrible lighting probably doesn't do it.
It's just interesting. It just takes you back a bit reading the tech crew for the DVD. So Ian Bond was front of house in those
Yeah.
days. Tim Brickus was a tour manager. Phil Brown was a monitor engineer in those days. Rich Lee was the drum technician. Eric Nielsen, the keyboard technician. Colin Price was the guitar technician. And lighting was done by somebody called Brian Leach at Cyan.
Yeah, don't know.
Oh, is it Sion?
Yeah.
And it was Roderick when it was doing the main mix. Is it there?
yeah, and he recorded it as well,
He
yeah.
did the audio at the Racket Club, yeah, Roderick Brunton.
No, but I think he did the mix for the show, didn't he, as well? He had a little era of doing that. if I'm not mistaken.
Well, no, the front of house engineer was Ian Bond.
All
He'd
right.
started, I think he joined as the studio engineer,
So
replacing Stuart, and then
d-
took over front of house from, I think, Marble's tour onwards until he left.
All
doesn't
right.
Ian Bond do Stevie Chuckle now? And
He used to do Porcupine Tree. He
yeah,
did.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
He did like I met him on the Stupid Dream tour,
yeah.
and I think he might have even done it before then.
And does Colin still work for Maiden or not?
I believe so. Yeah.
Does he? Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Because I think Mike clocked him at the last Maiden gig,
Right.
and I know Ian still. Well, when did I see Stevie Chuckle? And he was doing sound then.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
saw him
So
at
yeah, Manchester.
Manchester. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a real sort of time capsule, really, isn't it? For those of us that were sort of around seeing the band in those days, to sort of look back on this.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you
Just to touch
insinuating
back
how
on,
old?
yeah, we are. Just touch back on TSE, wasn't it? This what I remember, and I don't know if it was the same in Manchester, but he definitely did it at Zodiac. He was putting Christmas carols in the bridge section when it broke down because he'd done on the night before he did I Saw Three Ships. So I think he was changing it from night to
Yeah.
night, which was really interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got vague recollections of that, yeah.
The best Christmas version of TSE.
I think we campaign for it back again. I was thinking at Pompeii they could put echoes in the middle of TSA. Could do a bit of that. What do you think?
Loads of people have said they should play Echoes, aren't they? Well, will they? I mean, Dream
Nah.
Theatre played Echoes there, didn't they, this year?
Yeah, I think that's it. Right in the
That's
middle of it.
25 minutes of the set they're going to tackle.
That's
Yeah.
Just
right.
doing echoes.
We played Echoes followed by TSE.
But don't you need a
Stick it in the middle of
the whole
TSE.
thing, do you?
Yeah, 40 minutes, job done.
Then Care, and then bye bye.
Well, you've got to play Easter, the 755th verse of Easter.
Because Easter's in this set.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. It's well, what do you think of the gig overall? You've watched it back now. Do you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And it just brings back the memories of how fun and how energetic and how it was such a great time to be a fan back then. I mean, it still is now, but that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
when everything was on an upward trajectory.
Yeah, it was my rediscovery of the band from Anarachnophobia, and I think it was just keep it going. It's brought about. I thought it was a great gig at the time, and listening back to it, still think it's a great gig.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I said I played it a lot at the time. I thought the gig at the time was great. Thought the DVDs still stands up actually. It looks a bit of its time, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of energy going on. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's the energy that gets it for me because there was a lot. It felt like they toured with Anarachnophobia forever. It's Marbles was obviously a long gestation, and when it came out, it was the amazing thing it is. But it just felt like there was a long time where it was pretty much playing the same stuff, but the energy was always there, and there was always just a slight, I don't know what the word is, just a slight edginess to
Yeah.
some of those shows in that era. And I still love seeing them today, but that's gone. That's been replaced with is, beautifully slick performances and all the rest of it, which is fantastic in its one way as well. But there was just an edginess that you almost didn't quite know what was going to happen next.
Well, I don't think they did. Yeah, which gave you that sort of
yeah. There's no danger of something coming out that you weren't expecting. Really, I
Yeah.
think stays
Yeah.
up. Okay,
Yeah.
but there really was then. It was like, what else going to happen there?
Yeah. I'm
Just-
gonna go on.
I just thought, wasn't it the summer of 2002 where they did Richmond Festival
It was.
in the August?
Yeah.
It was.
In the August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
need
because
we need Mark Kennedy on to talk about Richmond.
Oh, bless. But yeah, because there
And they
was
played the Works in Sheffield before Richmond.
Was that the Octagon? Is the Octagon? Was that the same place? I think they changed its name.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I met Colin there the first time. As I was basically, it was part of the phase when Nick was in and out of hospital, and we drove all the way up, and then she had to go to Is it Northern General or Hallamshire in Sheffield?
Yeah, I'm sure.
We drove all the way up, and then I went to the gig and drove all the way back again because it was one of
Oh,
the
John,
catastrophic year.
you've just given us a horrible flashback memory
Of which?
about about before the Richmond Festival in
In
Sheffield.
Sheffield, don't talk about that. Don't talk
Do you
about that. It's
remember
not
what?
me. It's not me.
No, 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 no,
It's
no, no,
not
no,
me.
no, it's not. It's not that. That's a different time. No, it was the time when me and Mark Kennedy had gone out for breakfast. We got up early, and we'd stayed near the university quarter, and they had like a big amphitheater there, and we were walking up and over this amphitheater thing and down the steps, and you realise there was a bunch of like naked blokes in front of us. They were doing it was the rugby team getting like a calendar photos done. Oh, it was just like you just couldn't unsee what you saw.
Dear. Oh dear.
Oh,
That's Sheffield for you though.
yeah.
Okay.
Extra sausages with breakfast, sir?
Chipolatas though.
Scotch egg, anyone?
Oh,
I'm going to be a bit sneaky and ask you about the Roundhouse gig from 2 years ago because the Christmas CD from the web, which is about to hit, I understand as we're recording, they've been posted this week, is the recording of the Roundhouse 2023. We did a review of the Roundhouse at the time, but have you guys got any memories of that gig?
Yes, it was really busy. That was
You.
it. It was really busy, and we turned up. I don't say really late, but just before they came on, and we were stuck at the back, and we couldn't see
You
them.
couldn't get in, could you really? You couldn't get any
No.
sort of decent
Sort
view.
of oversubscribed by the standards that we used to, I would say. But that was it. And it rained a lot. It rained before we
It
went.
was
Oh, it was
raining, yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
chucking it down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my memory.
Wasn't that the gig that made the joke that the Roundhouse, if they dropped the Albert Hall, it would end up
Yes.
looking like the Roundhouse or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
That
mean,
was
we
a
had a
good gig from
reasonable
what I
view because
remember.
we got there at a reasonable hour, but we did queue up in the rain for a bit. If we were inside there's some pillars sort of halfway
Yeah.
between the back wall and the stage, isn't there? And we were
Mm.
inside those pillars, which helped your sight lines a great deal. If you were outside of them, it was quite.
Yeah, we were at them. We were quite at the back. But
And it was absolutely rammed.
I
Absolutely
mean, the
rammed.
band had a good night though. We'd seen them in Wolverhampton, hadn't we? And then we went to the Roundhouse. I thought they had a great gig, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It was Wolves the night before, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Two nights.
Technically 2 nights before, because we went
Yeah.
to see
Two
Oasis
nights before. Yeah.
between.
You went to
Yeah.
see Oasis?
No Oasis.
Oh,
Yeah.
no Oasis, I was going to say.
Is
Yeah, I
the
remember
set is
getting there.
the is the set list on the CD being announced yet? What they've actually put on the CD or not?
No, but you'll by the time this goes out, you'll know it. So no, I don't think it has. It's not the full gig because it's just a
No, no,
single
no.
disc.
Right.
But yes, I was just seeing if you could remember.
Well, we'll know by the time we do the roundup of the year episode, which will be coming up after this. We'll know by then probably.
Well,
I
yeah,
originally was sat on the balcony. I had a front row seat on the balcony next to Mike and Helena, but it was Guy Vickers' seat and he was down on the floor.
yeah.
And then he decided that he didn't want to stand on the floor anymore and he wanted his seat back, so he kicked me out. So I had to go back downstairs, at which point I couldn't move and I was stood right at the back. And I'm not the tallest person, I couldn't see a thing.
No.
So I kind of slid down the left-hand side and stood with Freebs and managed to kind of get a view between the pillars.
I seem to remember this. Is it not kind of, does the balcony kind of wrap round the back a bit in
Yeah.
the Roundhouse?
Mm.
There were
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people who seem to have a sort of side or even back view.
Yeah, it's more or less a full more or less goes right round to the stage. So you
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
I was just looking at the set. I seem to remember a really good version of Sounds That Can't Be Made and a good version of Splintering Heart as well.
Do you want to read out what they played, James? You've got it on the screen.
Yeah, it started off with The Invisible Man, then the song they don't play very often called Easter.
Oh no.
Sure.
Then Sounds That Can't Be Made, then Beyond You, which I'd completely forgotten about. Map of the World, Reprogram the Gene, Quartz, Crow and the Nightingale, Care, then they went off and came on to Splintering Heart, The Neverland, and the second encore was Sugar Mice and King.
Pretty good. Pretty good set list.
Mm.
Well, if you're a member of the
Outstanding.
web, you should have a CD of that by the time you hear this.
Depending on how bad the post is.
Well, yeah. And I'm sure you've all heard by now that the web physical membership has been saved. We're not going totally digital. There is going to be a digital option, but you will be able to subscribe for your magazines and your physical CD again next year.
Oh, so are we going to do a podcast as a physical CD just to go in solidarity with them from next year? We'll sell precisely none.
I'm surprised that people listen to this once. Why you would want to listen to it twice, I have no idea.
You should actually record the visuals of this call and put it out as a flip book.
So people can hate read it.
Faye's greatest hits.
So
We've
the
got nice pair of
Roundhouse
hits.
one is CD, is it? It's not.
Yes,
gonna
it
be-
is a CD. Yeah.
Because Tim did a lot. I don't know what's happened to that footage. Tim
Did a
lot of
documentary, didn't
footing. Yeah, but that's not seen the light of day yet, has
No,
it?
I think it's still coming though.
A day
I
in
understand.
a day on the road type thing.
Yeah.
Of
As
the
I
whole
Maybe it's going to
setup.
come out at the same
Yeah.
time soon.
Ah, okay, that'd be interesting.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm
Right.
just surmising.
I think last time we spoke to Tim, there's some developments around the space, so I'm sure that content might arrive when those developments come to
Right.
fruition. I think I'm just guessing; it's not based on any facts. But yes, it's been good to look back to 2002, the 7th of December 2002, momentous day for Mr. Wood.
Yeah, well, technically for George Wood.
Well, for you as well. I mean,
yeah.
momentous
And
day for
Nicky-
George
and
Wood.
Nicky for
Yeah,
that
and
matter.
Nicky Wood. Yeah,
And
yeah.
yes.
All right then.
Actually, as well, it was Dobby's birthday as well, because his birthday is the 7th of December.
But he just got drunk, which is what he did in those days. You know,
Yes,
that's
yes.
fine.
He was young.
He was, yes. But I want to thank the guys for coming on and reminiscing with us. If you've not heard the gig, definitely recommend having a look on the space or downloading the audio because it is a really energetic set list.
I think it's worth it just for Gabriel's message and the what's the other Carolee one, whatever it's called.
Oh, come
Season's
Emmanuel.
End.
Season's End, yeah. Angel Gabriel, whatever, I don't know, whatever they're called anyway. They're all called Angel
You
Gabriel.
see, his quiz crown has already slipped, folks. You know. But yeah, it's been great to look back on that gig, and I hope it's piqued your interest if you weren't there, and if you were there, I hope it's sort of remind you of some of the good times that we had. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much to Neil.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Darren
Thank you very much.
Thank
Great
you.
reminiscing.
and James.
Cheers. Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas, James. And to Barnsley, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
And Faye, you need
Why,
to wash
thank
that.
you.
You need to wash that mistletoe.
It needs domestos for a start.
It needs a clean.
It needs burnt.
It does. It seriously does.
On that bombshell, it's good night from me.
And it's not quite Merry Christmas for me.
Take care.
And stay alive. And be good for Santa. Thanks for listening to Planet Marzipan Podcast. Please like and subscribe from whichever platform you get your podcasts from. You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com and check out marillion.com, fishmusic.scot for all the good stuff.